when you're doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you're doing bad.
I'm on my grind.
Ain't nobody give a fuck when you're doing bad. Motherfuckers wanna hate when you're doing good. Ain't nobody give a fuck when you're doing bad.
Back in your computer screens. Welcome back to Beyond the Gloves and Tape. I'm Rob on Combat. You can follow me on the Twitter handle or on the handle below on all social media platforms. That's Josh Imola. Welcome back. We're back.
We are.
You thought we were gone, but we're back, baby. With a vengeance. We're not going to talk about Kane today because there's no news. If you were wondering.
Nothing popping. But let's get into the ads.
Yeah, we got those. Charlie Cover Sports Advisors, the official sponsor of Beyond the Gloves and Tape, the best one. If you want to win money, head over to that handle on Instagram only, exclusively. Hit him up in his inbox with the hashtag BTGAT to get 30% off any pick package you want for the entire month, week, day, year, whatever you want. 30% off. We got your back because he's got ours. Let's get into it. Josh, what do you got for me today?
Bud, we don't have Kane, but we got something a little bit more spicy. He didn't beat him in the octagon. He beat him in the streets. Jorge
Let's go. I'm
going
ready.
after Mr. Covington in public.
1 second, though. Before we start this show is dedicated. I want to announce this because it deserves an announcement. This doesn't deserve a, right before the segment announcement, Josh. This is an important announcement, and I'm going to announce it right here, right now. This show is dedicated to Scott Hall. Rest in peace. Wolfpack, baby. Yo, too sweet right now. Too sweet, baby. Rest in peace, man. I love the NWO. That's a huge part of my childhood. Gutted. Absolutely gutted. But to pay tribute to the man from here, so what was that? 4 weeks of wrestling till Bash of the Beach from his debut. The next 4 shows, we're going to do the Mark Minute as a tribute to Scott Hall, reviewing the lead up to Bash of the Beach, the biggest turn in wrestling. The Hulk, no one ever thought Hulk Hogan would turn, but he did, and it was amazing. It's the best heel of all time and best storyline of all time. Scott Hall is a massive part in that, and we're gonna talk about it. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. This episode's for you. Anyway, sorry to cut you off, Josh.
No worries.
Go ahead.
So the Jorge.
Jorge and okay. Wow. So, wow. You know. I mean, on one hand, I get it. This is character, right? He said that too. If you seen him, he was gonna hit him up. But Colby, you know what you're getting when you fight him, and he had 25 minutes to do this. So it just kind of feels like, I don't know. I'd had a week to digest it. I went up and then it went down. I'm like, yeah, I know, and he's arrested. It seems like 2 weekends ago, he got his ass whooped, right? But that being said, he also got a lot of he hit the guy. He fucking dropped him to one knee. He did some damage. I mean, you would think that's it, right? No. George follows this dude off on Instagram to fucking whatever steakhouse they're at, pieces him up upside, runs away. It's just it felt so gangster to me, it felt like a hit and run kind of thing, and it's unfortunate because the man is going to be charged, but it's also unfortunate that Colby is going that route too. But it also fits his character. The whole thing's messy, man. I want to see better from both, but it's headlines, and I guarantee you this isn't something Dana White's mad about today. I bet you Dana White's very pumped about this.
Now, after I've heard your opinion, I'm going to give you just a cause that could happen over the next, say, week or two. Judge gets this into a courtroom and says, yeah, it's assault. Colby doesn't actually fully go with the charges because the judge can't really give out too many charges because both are UFC fighters. But yeah, Colby might not be asking for it, but
he could claim emotional damages. I mean, he could go. There could be serious
there could be serious repercussions, but there might not be serious repercussions.
I don't know. I don't like it. You know, but I do like it at the same time. It's juicy. It's like it catches your attention. You see the video, and to be completely honest, you don't see the video. That video was horseshit. Can we get into that for a second? Can we?
Yeah,
in
we
2022, in 2022, you can't get a camera that can film outside at nighttime. You kidding me, right? Did you see that video?
I seen the video.
I seen the video, but I didn't see the video because I don't know what the fuck I seen. It was all
I don't know
pixely and
what
shit.
happened.
Bro, you're in L.A.
I just
no,
seen
you're
a
in
whole
Miami.
bunch of cops, man.
You're in Miami. You're at the most expensive restaurant on the block, and you're coming at me with a camera like that.
240p.
That's the biggest L I ever seen in my life, bro.
Yeah,
Like,
two UFC fighters.
Forget George. Who's taking these videos, bro? And who's taking these videos? And another thing. That's the only video we got. Like, that's the only one. All those people standing there. Not one of them thought, "No, these are two famous people fighting right now. We better pull our phones out because we live in a world where everything is documented."
And the whole world knows who UFC fighters are too. And they just fought. Like, seeing these two in the same atmosphere after you just fought and after how much shit you talked, I would have my phone ready to go.
I'm just saying, I seen Connor throw a chair through a bus at 4 different angles. Okay? All of them HD quality.
Oh, man.
4K. Some of them 4K.
We watched Connor punch an Irish dude in the fucking mouth, and it was a beautiful quality.
And I could see his wrinkles in his face.
Like,
okay? I could see the, like,
and you're outside a steakhouse. It looked like there was a fire. It looked like there was smoke, and that you couldn't see a fucking thing.
You would think that we got attacked. That
like,
America is under fire. That's what you would think right now.
It was bad, man.
Oh, it was terrible. It was absolutely horrendous. But anyway, yeah, that's crazy, man. George, and he knocked his tooth out too. Did you hear that?
Yeah.
And that's the story no one's talking about either. Like,
so then let me ask you this.
That's the funniest part to me.
Yeah, it is. But is it good for the sport or bad for it? Like, Colby pressing charges and, like, this whole situation, does it look good on the UFC?
I don't know if we can answer that until it plays out. Like, I don't know if we can answer that until... I'll tell you right now, it's great for publicity. It's great for people watching, and it's great for whoever they fight next.
Then, quick question to counter on that one. Do they fight again? Do you think Colby would fight him again?
I don't think Dan would book it. No, there's a reason to. What's he going to take him down again for 25 minutes? Like, what are we selling here? Maybe. I don't see it. I think that you push this narrative that George is a gangster and you do the rematch with Nate, or you do a fresh one with Nick. Those are the two fights for George next. Colby's going to be pushed as this Republican that presses charges and that he believes in the police force and all this nonsense that he doesn't really, whether he believes in it or not, you kind of know it's a shtick and it's going to work in his favor. It's going to work for both of their favors, honestly. Whether it's good or bad for the sport, that remains to be seen. If you're talking career-wise, though, I think it's great for both of them.
Do you think
in the short term for Colby, you got some dentist bills to pay for?
Do you think it's the end of Jorge's career?
No. Come on.
What if a judge rules against him fighting?
I don't see that happening. Maybe he might get like, even if he gets the felony. Like, we've seen fighters go to jail before, you know.
Yeah.
And not just fighters. Let's go bigger than that. More mainstream, if you will. Michael Vick did multiple years in a penitentiary. Still played football again. Anything's possible.
Yeah.
For the right price.
Very true.
If enough people want to watch it, it will happen. So, no, I don't think George is done. Probably a stupid move in the short term for both, because now Colby's got to pay some dental bills and George has got to pay a lot more bigger bills. But, in the long run, they're both going to get paid. So, that's what it is.
Okay, now we're going to switch gears a little bit here. Henry training Peter Yan, and does this give Aljamain a better shot?
I don't know. I don't even because like, what if that translates really well? Then Peter Yan's an absolute animal now. He already is. Aljo already had trouble taking him down.
He's a very good fighter. I'll give him that.
Is it just muscle memory at this point? You know, you gotta wonder what his camp was like. You know, there's a lot of questions here. You know, I'm saying you know a lot. You pick up on that. You know. I just said like 5 times. Anyway, no, I don't think it's good. I think you want your coaches there. If I'm fighting, I want the people that's got my back in my corner. At the same time, you don't get to fight for world championships every day.
No, you don't.
And you're the best in the world. You know you're the best in the world. You've fought like you're the best in the world. You've been here before. Fought this guy before. You've had him on skates before. So there's a lot of confidence going in for Peter Yan.
Now, in saying you've had him on skates, do you think going to Henry Cejudo, who's great in his background in wrestling is outstanding, do you think that plays to Jan's disadvantage and kind of gives him a little bit of an edge on his wrestling going into the fight? And do you think it dulls his striking?
Well, that depends on the game plan, I think. Because I think it could be a great thing if it's just like sharpening his tools and like sharpening his takedown defense, and the game plan is to strike like it always has been, and it should be. Let's keep that in mind. It absolutely should be his number one go-to.
Yeah.
So it could go either way. You know, if he goes to that camp and Henry's like, "No, let's have a grappling exchange. Let's tie him up. Let's put him to the fence." You know, maybe that doesn't go his way. Maybe it does though. He's a strong guy, dude.
He's a very strong guy, and it kind of gives me to that point that I'm thinking, like, even if you learn wrestling and it's like a shark in water, once you smell blood, it's like, okay, maybe wrestling's not my forte, and you switch it up mid-fight, you go to striking, and you put him on skates again. Maybe you put him away this time because you're backed into a corner and you don't know what to do, and your strength comes out full bore.
I think it could be great for Peter Yan. I don't necessarily think this gives Aljo a huge advantage, though.
In saying that, do you think that, in hindsight, the last fight has kind of haunted Peter Yan?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And he just wants redemption?
He wants,
like,
that's another thing. Like, he's not coming in here like, this is a friendly rematch, you know.
this
shit
is
happens.
a bitter
They
man.
do not like each other.
He's a bitter man right now. He lost that fight to an illegal knee. Yeah. And for most people that don't know, Aljamain was down in the 3-point stance. And Peter Yan came up and delivered a pretty devastating knee. And you know what? Fighting happens quick. I don't side with either one, but I can see both sides of the pillar. And you know what? It's difficult. And you like to see a rematch. And
you never want to see a fight end that way either. Like, he was clearly concussed.
He didn't know what was going on.
I don't like the parading with the belt. But that's to each their own. That's going to... Maybe he's going for the bad guy shtick, you know?
Yeah. Or maybe it bites him in the ass.
Yeah. Everyone wants to be MJF, you know? Everyone wants to be the Floyd, like, these guys. You know why I say that? Because there's one MJF. You know why I say that? Because there's one Floyd Mayweather. Like, there's one Conor McGregor. There's only one. There's always got to be a bad guy, but
they're all different, man.
You can't just force that shit, you know?
Like, Floyd
there
wasn't...
There doesn't always have to be a bad guy. Sorry. Like, it just is what it is. It's organic. These guys, they come off like that because they are like that. You know? You just bred differently. Like, you know how to, like, twist people's emotions for either way you want, and they know what sells. It's a different breed, and not everyone's built like that. And that everyone in the fighting industry, and especially in MMA, it's really bad in MMA.
Yeah,
everyone
it is
wants to
very
be
bad.
the next Conor McGregor.
Like,
and that goes into fighter pay too.
Yeah,
the formula's been made, right?
You see the difference. Like, I've been seeing a lot on Instagram of people releasing fighter pays for each cards that's been coming out, and you just see who gets paid $150,000 for this fight, and somebody's getting paid $550,000.
You know, I had a conversation with somebody the other day at work, and they got it at the end of it, but fighter pay came up, right? And he's like, well, unless you're Conor McGregor. And I thought about it for a second, and I was like, you take the endorsements away, you take Proper 12 away, all that goes away, right? You look at his UFC pay. He's probably pretty under fucking paid. Let's just call it what it is. For a superstar like that, if he was a boxer, like full-time boxer, never touched MMA, never touched grappling, he'd probably be making $100 million a fight without endorsements, like fight purse. I guarantee you he makes up for it in endorsements, so it doesn't matter to him. But I guarantee you he walks into that octagon no more than $3 million base pay plus pay-per-views. So he'd probably walk away with a lot more. But I'm talking like without pay-per-views, without endorsements, without none of these extra things. You know what I mean? He's probably an underpaid man. You know what I mean? If you break it down to what he's worth and what other guys are getting in other sports like boxing for like that kind of promotion, look at Floyd Mayweather. Look at Tyson Fury. Look at Deontay Wilder. Look at these huge names that are doing the exact same thing on a lesser level, mind you.
Yeah, and you got to think Jake Paul
Pretty underpaid.
Jake Paul has probably made more in his boxing career than Conor made in his whole UFC career.
But that's a little inflated too. Like he don't sell pay-per-views. That's his problem. Like,
Who?
Jake don't sell no pay. Like you know what I mean? Like compared to like the Conors and like the Floyds and like even like
but
the
you
Georges.
gotta think he has definitely made more money for fighting in boxing
He's
than
part of the promotion shit, right?
than Conor did in the UFC.
Yeah.
It's just it's
I'm talking like
it's sickening to see how little they do get
like
paid
off
though.
of pay-per-view sales. Like Jake ain't making that much. Like he's
No.
getting most of his money off of base sales. Like he don't sell a lot of pay-per-views. It's just a fact.
Yeah,
Like what
100%.
did he do? Like 600,000 last time out. Like,
I don't even remember.
That ain't shit.
No.
You know what I mean? Like that's something. Like that's pretty good for like an Israel Adesanya. You know, that's pretty good for like I don't know, like a Calvin Gastelum.
How good do you think he would sell if he fought Fury?
Ooh.
If the Paul Fury fight actually happened, what do you think that would have sold?
Oh, younger Fury. I don't know. I think it'd probably do a lot better than Tyson. I don't think it'd do anywhere close to that. I
don't think it would do $1 million pay-per-views?
No. I think it'd do a lot better than 600,000 against Tyron Woodley. However, I think it's close to $1 million.
Yeah.
But I don't think Tommy Fury is that proven.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people in Britain that want to see fucking Fury beat him.
Yeah.
Just because of some shit he talked. So speaking of Fury, do you think the Fury is done?
Oh,
the older brother.
What a segue! Look at you go. That was a fucking good one, bud. No, he says it. Every interview he's been saying for like the last 3 weeks. He's been saying, "This is it. AJ's a bum. He's done." He really believes that. He did. AJ's looking for a dance partner right now.
Do you think he's gonna get it?
Oh, that's another one. Did you hear Usyk is back?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's calling. So maybe he's not looking for a dance partner anymore. I don't know. I think he's got a lot left in the tank, and I think there's a lot more fights to be made than what he's saying. So maybe he's gearing up for a wrestling run, because he does have affiliations with WWE in the past. So maybe like he's downplaying the AJs and the Usyks for that reason. Maybe he's got enough. Maybe he's done. Maybe he is ready. Maybe he's just got his next plan in place, and he's not telling nobody. He's working us right now for his next move.
How about...
Maybe he's working us for his next move in boxing, though.
Yeah, how about maybe he's pushing AJ to get something done by calling him out? Like,
yeah. Realistically, everyone wants to see the Usyk fight anyways. Like Tyson Fury versus Usyk. Everyone wants to see the undisputed champ. So like, I think him saying that there's no real fights at heavyweight, that's just not true. Why he's saying that, it makes you want there could be like, this guy's an enigma. You know, like you just don't know. Like maybe he's ready to walk away because he's done it before. You know, maybe he's working us. Maybe he wants to win a Usyk and AJ. Maybe he's seeing how it all plays out. Maybe he's seeing the reception of the fans. Maybe he wants to take a year off.
Yeah. Maybe this war got to him and...
Maybe. I don't know. I honestly, Josh, I have no clue. It's all speculation at this point. But we're taking it by his word. Then this is the last time we'll see the Gypsy King in action
I
inside a squared
God, I
circle.
hope not. God, I hope not.
And if that is the case,
Long live the king.
well, wow, haven't we been lucky?
Yeah, long live the king.
Wow, don't we live in a great era?
Yeah.
It's a shame that the kids of this era won't really know
The Tyson
how
Fury.
great he was, and I really hope that he's not done. But if he is, thank you, champ. That you're great.
Yeah.
Anyway, Josh, what's next? What you got?
What is next? Jake Paul did discuss an August return, but we don't know who, what, where, when, and why.
Today
We speculated Chavez, but
Julio Chavez, maybe.
he's Instagram shy and hasn't posted since February.
So you never know. That was the talk, wasn't it? He didn't say nothing about Anderson. He was all, I want to fight Julio Chavez Jr.
But could you think maybe the Instagram blackout might be, I'm in training camp going hard?
No, that could absolutely be it, right?
Like Jake waited. We're on the 25th of March.
We're also talking about like a 40-year-old man here. He's not like exactly a boomer here. I
Yeah.
mean, like a kid here, you know.
But you got to think, if they're talking August, you got, if he found out, say, when he went black on Instagram was February 25th.
Yeah.
So if he goes black for a month, he's been training March, April, May, June, July. He's got 5 months of training. That's a good training camp if you're starting right now.
Yeah.
And if Jake's just announcing it, they probably had this deal working last month, and the month goes by.
Or months even.
Chavez has been hard at the gym. He goes to the lawyer's office, gym, lawyer, go to an agent. Hey, agent, how's it going? What are we doing?
Possible.
What's the money?
That's possible. But there's other options too. Chavez is obviously the front runner, in my opinion. I think he's definitely the guy that's more than likely going to get the fight. But if it's not Chavez, let's discuss. Who do you got? Who do you think?
I don't see anybody until he establishes himself a little bit more, but he just wants to dive into the deep end. If he's going to dive that deep, then...
Dana said it perfect this week on whatever podcast it was. There's always going to be a market for what this kid does. You know what I mean? Like, these aren't, like, we're not seeing the best versus the best here. We're just seeing these spectacles, and I'm cool with it. But with that being said, there's a few options that need to be discussed. I mean, we can't ignore that world champion that welcomed him and said that he put his title up to fight him at any time. So he's obviously I don't see that a realistic option. Any real manager would be like, you're nuts.
You're not doing that.
You're no.
Yeah, you're gonna lose everything if you lose this guy.
So Anderson Silva comes to mind. I would love to see that fight. I think Anderson pieces him up, don't you? After
I do.
The Tito fight and shit, like
I
think
do.
the head movement looked great, the jab looked great, footwork was there. I think he presents.
Do I want to see that fight? No.
I think he presents a lot of problems to the problem child.
I don't want to see that fight. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to see him keep going after ex-UFC fighters. I want to see him fight a legitimate boxer. I want to see him do serious damage to an actual boxer.
I think Anderson presents a bigger problem than any problem that he's had yet, in my opinion.
Agreed.
I'll say
I
that.
do agree. But
And not even off power alone, just off fundamentals.
and speed.
Yeah,
And speed kills, man.
But
in
the
boxing.
power's obviously not as diminished. Like we'll note that.
Well, you got to think this though.
But the
like
skill
it's
there.
Connor's famous word: timing beats speed, and precision beats power. It's the famous Connor
That's
line.
what we've seen against Tito too.
It's the famous line. Like his precision, his timing.
Now,
Anderson's got it all cooked into hands.
Now, what if it's another influencer, and they pull the trigger? And you know where I'm going with this. The fight everybody wants is the KSI fight. But why don't we finally pull the trigger on that? There's a fight.
I don't think the KSI fight sells like another boxer. Like if you're
You think that
actually
ship's
pulling a boxer.
okay? So you think that ship's gone now?
Yeah, I think it was gone when Logan did his due diligence with KSI. I think it was over right then and there.
Yeah. Well, because
I
there was a
don't
lot of chatter
see-
after the fight. Like everyone was saying, that's next. Jake versus KSI, because KSI beat like KSI's got the dub. So
Yeah, but if Jake fights KSI as a YouTuber versus YouTuber,
and he beat Anderson Gibb. Remember that?
I did, but
Beat there, bro. I don't know.
I don't know either, man. It's hard to say. Like, I'm not interested in watching the KSI fight because I already know the outcome of that one. Jake is a lot tougher than his brother, and he will put KSI to sleep.
I absolutely agree.
And I don't agree with Jake taking that path because
But I
it
guarantee
is literally a nail in a coffin if you lose.
You want a pay-per-view that sells better than 600,000 though? You take the KSI fight, buddy. I guarantee you that does better than the Tyron Woodley fight. You know how many 13-year-old boys don't want to play FIFA or are going to watch that? Huh? You know, all
I agree.
the
I know, I
9-year-old
agree.
English
I agree.
boys that
I
are
agree.
saying, "Oi, KSI on pay-per-view? Mum."
Mumsy, I want to watch this. I'll clean my room for a week. I promise. I really promise, Mum.
You know how many people? You know how many teenage boy or English boys are gonna go to their parents and be like, "Mom, I wash a car."
I swear I'll do the dishes. You don't have to run the dishwasher this weekend.
Your English is way better than mine. I'm more like
what?
I feel like my English accent's more like an Australian accent.
All right,
What's next?
your favorite topic.
Oh, we're there already. That was quick.
It is getting near the end, but it is time
Can we play the audio?
for the marquee minute.
Oh, man, I can't believe I got to talk about this because it's Scott Hall's day. That sucks. But hey, no, it doesn't suck, Josh. The memories. Rest in peace, legend. I'm going to try to do you justice here. Is there any way we can get some audio on this from the video? If not, it's okay.
Probably not, because
No.
I don't have copyright.
Okay. Well, fuck you then. Okay. So, what was the date? Scott Hall debuting on Nitro was like my childhood right there. May 27th, 1996 was the date that the Monday Night Wars started. Wow, I don't even know how to start because this was a time, Josh, where the internet what is it? The internet came out in '94, so the internet was 2 years old, bro.
Yeah.
So just imagine, okay, 9-year-old Josh watching. No, you weren't even born yet, bro. Oh no, you were born.
I was born 92.
Yeah. Okay. Oh wow, you're old, eh? I was
Very
born- I was
old.
born
30 years
94.
old.
Bro, damn.
30.
Okay. Learn something new every day. Okay, well, anyway, so yeah, imagine you as a little boy, 9 years old. You're sitting down, you're watching WWF Raw 1 week, or no, you're watching the pay-per-view, sorry, right? And Razor Ramon comes out and he does his match. He loses, coincidentally. Not coincidentally, because the next night on Monday Nitro, you turn in, you're like, I'm going to watch some WCW tonight. And all of a sudden, this guy pops up out of nowhere. And you're like, whoa! Your head explodes. You have no idea what you're seeing. You don't even know how to comprehend the images that you were processing in your mind. Like, this guy is on WW. And then, the promo. The promo he catches is absolutely legendary. You want a war? You know? You want a war? You're going to get one. Bro, like, you're shivering as a child watching this. Like, you're like, oh my God. WCW is under siege. All the shit Eric's been talking has finally come back. Meanwhile, you know, Scott Hall just left. That was the end of his duties at WWF, and he left his contract with a loss, like you always do in the business. You move on. That's exactly what he did. But like, marks in '96 aren't the marks of 2022, and they had no idea what the hell was going on. The dirt sheets didn't even know. It was like, even like editors that do this for a living were like flabbergasted by what they were seeing. That now, obviously, after he cut the 3 words into the first promo, he's like, oh, okay, well, I can't believe they made this scoop. Like, he's obviously signed, right? But like the kids and like general public that don't report on this every day, this was huge news. Like, wrestling was massive at this time. So like, that's important to note here. Okay, so then we get into the promo of all promos. He's calling him Macho Man, Hulk Hogan, and where is Scheme Gene? 'Cause boy, Do I? Beautiful, right? So he gets in, he calls out Eric Bischoff, the weatherman, the Ken doll. When that Ken doll lookalike come out, I got a challenge for him. And my favorite, I got a challenge for billionaire Ted, for the Nacho Man, and for anyone else at WC. Like, it's just amazing. The whole promo is like what changed the world. It's probably the best promo of all time. This guy deserves the respect. And this was the setup for next week. Kevin Nash would make his debut. The whole time he's foreshadowing, we are mad. We are invading. You want to go to war? Well, we are sick of it. And we accept. And who is we? You know? No one has any idea. But boy, is the wrestling world about to change. Till next week. Rest in peace. Legend. Scott Hall. Wolfpack for life. Psh. And that's an episode. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a good one.